It's not often I have a conversation about sexually transmitted infections.
No.
Welcome to Knee Deep in the Pod. And this week, it's all about the clap.
All right. Well, maybe I'll include that. Hello, and welcome to Knee Deep in the Pod, where if you change one letter, it drastically changes the meaning. It's the last letter. There we go.
I was like, what can you turn knee into?
I'm
Right,
Dan.
And I'm Chris. And this podcast, it's episode 16, by the way, if anyone's counting.
Can we start
this
again?
podcast, no, you didn't let me last time. This podcast is basically a place for us to talk about games and reminisce about the good old days when we actually had time to play them. This time, we're going to be talking about DRM and piracy. Whoa. The best places to do it and how to avoid getting caught.
But before we dive into that, I lost it. Yar, today we be sailing the high seas. But before we dive into that, Chris, what have you been playing this week?
Well, Dan Maharty, let me tell you. I've been sailing the 7 seas. Actually, just like 1 sea. Because, hey, some of our listeners might have guessed, I've returned.
Oh.
Not to the Oberdin,
Oh.
to Dredge.
Okay.
The other boat-themed game in my life.
You're such a boat enthusiast.
Oh, man. If anyone, in fact, drop a comment in the comments if you can recommend any other boat-themed games for me.
Anything nautical, really.
Anything naughty. Stick it in there. Dredge. So, I've waxed lyrical about Dredge on this podcast before, but this time I've got something new for you. For Christmas, I got the expansions. So I got the Pale Reach and I got the Iron Rig. So both sort of DLCs. I think the Pale Reach is sort of a bit smaller. It's kind of like one extra area. So like if you're familiar with Dredge, you're this kind of fishing boat and, sailing around, exploring, catching all sorts of weird fish. There's kind of this Lovecraftian horror theme. So there's kind of, weird slimy things and, they're kind of weird, kind of mutated fish you find. And there's kind of a story based around all that stuff. And there's kind of 5 main areas. Well, the Pale Reach is like an extra area, right?
Yeah.
And it's all kind of frozen themed. So all the, like, it's kind of icebergs and kind of frozen wasteland sort of vibe. And I had the pleasure of playing this in part with my sister kind of joining me on a stream, kind of watching and as I played, and we were kind of hanging out at the same time, which was super great. So, and she's a listener of the podcast, so she will hear this and have a lovely grin right now. So there's kind of this, what are those like? They're kind of like whales, but have an enormous horn.
Narwhals.
Narwhals. There's this like angry narwhal that's like rampaging around the Pale Reach, and you've got to like work out how to like deal with him and like make sure he doesn't like destroy you and everything around you. And you're like, you put on this like snow plow and you're like bashing through the ice and stuff. Anyway, it was super cool, and it's kind of this whole kind of mysterious set of circumstances as well to like this captain and this ship that are no longer around, except a few of them are like frozen in ice.
Can you defrost them?
Anyway, yeah. Well, you smash through the ice with like a pick, and then you hear their tales of woe. So, yeah.
I was just chilling here in my ice cube, and then someone hit me with a pickaxe.
How dare you disturb my slumber? Yeah, so that was super great. And then I've just been playing through the Iron Rig. So again, like it adds to the story, the setting of what's going on. This kind of oil platform thing kind of turns up, and it's like drilling into the seabed. And the more you drill, the more like weird and stuff comes out, and like creatures start appearing, and like, So I've been loving it. It's one of those games that I loved it the first time, and this has given me a really good reason to just keep coming back to it. And it's one of those, like, even if I've only got 20 minutes before bed, like, I find a way to just play a bit before the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's been super great. So that is one thing, and I'm going to give you 2 for the price of 1, very briefly.
Sure.
God of Thunder.
Oh, classic.
Absolute classic, and free to anyone that wants to play, by the way, on Steam. This is a game of our childhood, and I think I got the demo on some, like... My dad has, like, I think just acquired a collection of these discs. I guess they came with magazines or something, and it was like, hey, here's like a set of 10 different demos. Back in the days when demos, you just get them on discs for free.
It was
and
like
then if you want the full
shareware,
game,
right?
Yeah, and so if you liked the kind of demo, you'd buy the full game, right?
Yeah.
So I never really played beyond the demo, but the full game is available on Steam, and literally over years, I've been playing it ever so, like, in piece by piece, bit by bit, with my wife, like, together. And we finished part 2 the other day as part of a, like, date night. So it's really nice. It's a fun, silly, how would you, like, kind of action adventure
It is
game.
fun, yeah. It's a bit Zelda-y, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a bit of Zelda vibes, yeah.
But this is, like, back from the DOS era, like, super old.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about it, to me, was always, like, you have this hammer which you can throw, and it comes back kind of like a boomerang. And a lot of the puzzles... I don't know how true this is, but in my head, a lot of the puzzles kind of rely on that boomerang mechanic.
There is quite a bit of use of that, yeah, for sure. And I think we were kind of talking offline, just like, it's definitely of the era of games where you almost feel the presence of the people that made it. Because like, there's kind of, you can sort of feel the game designers kind of trolling you sometimes, or making fun of you, or the humor is kind of in there, kind of, it's kind of directed at the player sometimes.
Yeah.
And also there's a sense of, like, you can sort of see the kind of rough edges around the game, like where it's a bit glitchy, or it's a bit like, this mechanic could be smoother, but it almost leans into that and, like, uses its kind of rough around the edges bits to kind of almost be part of the game. Like, sometimes you use that to solve puzzles and stuff. So anyway, so that's, those are my 2 things I've been playing lately.
I have this memory of a particular puzzle in God of Thunder, and the way to solve it, or the only way that we could solve it, was actually by going into the settings and adjusting the game speed, because you could, for some reason you could change the game speed, and that, I don't know, changed the frequency of a switch or something like that. And that was the only way we could solve it. And I remember you telling me, like, oh, just try changing the game speed. And I, like, refused to believe that was the solution. I was like, why would you have to go into the settings to solve a puzzle? Doesn't make sense.
I think it's literally called turbo mode.
Is it?
Turbo mode, yeah. It's so bizarre. There's, like, no explanation for it. It's just there. It's like, do you want to turn on turbo mode?
It just speeds everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Bizarre.
Oh, anyway, that's been super great. So, Dan.
Hello.
What have you been playing lately?
Yeah, well, first, just to say, like, I'm really glad you're enjoying the Dredge expansions, because I really enjoyed Dredge as well, and I sort of toyed with the idea of getting them. I had a look on the store page, but a lot of the reviews were saying, yeah, it's just sort of more of the same, so I didn't bother in the end. but I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. And like, to be honest, particularly the Pale Reach, but I mean, kind of both of them, it is more of the same. But you know what? I really loved all of the same. I loved it all. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll do more of that. And like, you know, and we've talked about this on the pod before, you know, when there are optional quests and side quests and stuff, but you've come to the end of the game, like the end of the main quest, then your enthusiasm for all those extra bits kind of dies away.
Yes.
So this was quite a nice way to kind of reopen, you know, the game.
Yeah.
And kind of and so you're doing the extra bits, but also I was kind of doing a few of the quests that were in the main game that I just hadn't got to. But since I'm floating about, yeah, I'll do those bits. So yeah, it was cool, man. And like I got them on deal, so you know it was wasn't expensive to just like have a bit more dredge time.
Yeah, I think that was almost one of the things that put me off buying the expansions was I kind of saw them as like a couple of extra side quests, and I was like, well, I've beaten the main game now, so I won't bother. Yeah,
and ultimately, you know, you're still a boat floating around, catching fish and collecting stuff. And, you know, I was actually pondering on this. I was like, ultimately, a lot of what Dredge is kind of fetch quests.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Like often I would kind of, if someone told me, oh, it's a load of fetch quests, I'd almost see that as like a down, you know, as like a negative. But in this case, it doesn't feel like it is. I don't know why that, you know, I guess maybe just the sense of exploration and all the kind of setting that goes around it makes it not feel like a chore. It just feels just as fun.
I think that's it. They just really nailed that world, and just being a boat in that world is just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, come on, man.
Yeah.
We're all hanging on the edge of our seats. Well, what have you been playing?
It's not super exciting, I'm afraid. I've not played a whole lot, but I have been playing Blueprints some more.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
Which I kind
of
love.
Does the save and exit feature
hate.
work?
I still haven't tested the save and exit feature. The other day I was in a run for about 2 hours. Chrissy was just waiting for me to finish. I was like, oh, you know, I'm really nearly done. There's another hour. Because every now and again you just like, you find a new clue which unlocks a whole bunch of stuff. And that's exciting, but now like it's getting to the point where it's a bit frustrating because I kind of know everything I need to do to get into this mysterious room 46, which is your main goal.
Oh, okay.
I just have to kind of wait for the stars to align to actually get a run that, you know, where I can do everything I need to do to get there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which shouldn't be too difficult, but I've had so many runs of the game now that I'm like, I need a break.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But soon.
Not ready to dive into the astrology of it all to get the stars to align.
Yeah, well, there is astrology in the game, funnily enough. That's quite,
really?
quite a big part. Yeah.
Oh, that undermines the whole joke. That's fine.
But soon I will revisit and I will finally enter room 46.
Nice. Well, I am looking forward to hearing what's in room 46. In fact, we can all look forward to the next episode where you'll definitely have done it and tell us.
Oh, I'll try not to spoil it.
Oh, okay.
You'll just have to play it yourself.
Have to play the game.
Yeah, it only takes about 50 to 60 hours.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, right. Here's your token Doom reference for the episode. The other day, buckle up, folks. The other day, I bought Doom the Dark Ages. This is the new Doom game.
Oh, okay.
So it came out last year now. I think it was like April last year. But let's not beat around the bush. It was expensive, and I was not about to get around to playing it anytime soon. So I was like, I'll hold off.
Yeah.
But it just had its deepest discount ever of like 2/3 off. So it was like 20 quid.
Nice.
So I was like, I'm going in now. I'm doing it.
Yes.
So I'm still, you know, I've got a list of games, you know, to play, and it is not at the top as much as I might like it to be. So yeah, we won't be hearing tales of me playing it anytime too soon on the pod, but I'm just really excited that I own it and that I'm going to get to play it sometime soon. Yeah, there you go. That's enough.
Are you not in control of that list? Could you not just move it to the top of the list?
I could, I could, I could queue jump something. And actually, we were saying the other day, maybe we should bring our lists to the pod sometime. Like, what's our current list?
Maybe we should do an episode on your strategy. How do you choose which games you play? How do you organize your Steam backlog? Because everyone has a slightly different approach.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just there are particular games that I got, for Christmas and other things, and I'm want to make sure I hit those.
Yeah.
I think if a game is a gift, then I guess it automatically goes quite, it's kind of up there. I want to at least to have tried it, if someone's got it for me. But anyway, that is now content for another episode. Let's not, eat away at that gold mine of chat.
Just nibbling on those gold nuggets. Gold nuggets. Yeah, honey crunching good.
Man, I back to our cereal episode. No, our breakfast episode.
Yes.
You know what I miss?
Cereal.
I miss cereal. I almost never get to eat cereal anymore.
Really?
Because, just trying to eat healthily and stuff, often, obviously, I know you have bran flakes or whatever, but fun cereal, I don't have that anymore. But you know what was great? Golden balls.
Were they different to golden nuggets?
Yeah, they were crispier. They were usually own brand.
Okay.
And they came out before golden nuggets. Golden nuggets were a late comer, man.
Golden balls.
And in my view, they get a bit soggy with the milk much quicker, and I don't like that. I want a crispy, firm ball.
Yeah, when they get soggy, they're not nice.
No one wants that.
No one wants that.
So, yeah, I miss golden balls.
Soggy nugget. I do think cereals, by and large, have got worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you ever have Choco Squares as a kid?
Mate, I flipping love Choco Squares.
Yeah.
And you know what? Controversial opinion. I think they're better than Crave.
That's not controversial at all. That's exactly my point.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Any Choco Squares, rip-offs that you get these days, Crave is the big one.
Yeah.
There's barely any chocolate.
And same complaint as the nugget issue.
Sog.
They get soggy quickly.
Sog. Yeah.
The sog, man. And this is what is crazy to me. As far as I can tell, or at least someone write a comment and tell me I'm wrong. But I first came across Choco Squares again as a supermarket own brand thing. No, there was no brand that was doing that. It was just, hey, you can get this at the supermarket now. It's made by Asda or Tesco or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're flipping amazing. And then Crave comes along trying to claim it as their thing.
Ruins it.
Oh, we can do... And ruins! It is ruined.
Well, I think it was probably ruined before that. This was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But to your point, what you're saying, I think a lot of the Choco Squares now try to be Crave.
Oh.
And so they have the soggier shell that doesn't last as long, and it's just worse.
Definitely worse.
What was your go-to cereal? What was your favorite
as a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite was Lucky Charms, but for the longest time we couldn't get that in the UK, and even now it's very expensive because it has to be imported. But I think when we were very young, it was common in supermarkets.
Yeah.
And then I think they stopped selling it. Maybe it became illegal because it was so sugary.
Yeah.
There was a big lull, and then it sort of started to come back.
Yeah, it was on the main shelves. Anyone could get it. It was fine. And then it became the specialty item after being basically banned for years.
Yeah. Oh, it's not good for kids to eat a bowl of pure sugar. This nanny state.
His health nuts. Yeah. So, should we talk about should we do the thing? We're going to talk about the thing?
Let's talk about the thing.
So what is it? It's what are the best sites to download your games for free, and how to make sure you don't get caught?
Yes, yeah, those are sort of like the main things, yeah.
Nice.
But also, no, I do want to give a bit of an introduction here, because this is, I would say, a bit of a divergence from our usual content.
And Dan has done the prep work. He deserves all of the all the credits,
all of the jail time. No, what basically we want to talk about DRM and piracy, but we want to take approach it from a slightly different point of view to what you might expect. So, what I have is a list of ethical dilemmas, which I'm going to pose to you, and they get increasingly more grey, let's say. So we'll start with some fairly non-controversial ones.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, it might get a little bit more controversial. But the reason for this is, I think, piracy is a very loaded term.
Yeah.
And I think the point I want to make through all of this is, I think there are a lot of grey areas. And I think having like a blanket statement of like piracy is wrong is unhelpful, I would say. That said, I'm going to caveat all of this with a big legal disclaimer. We don't condone piracy, blah, blah, blah. We never, obviously, pirate anything.
Nice. Yeah, covered our back there. Good job.
Yeah. But obviously, as a game developer, I do want to support developers. But I think there are, as I said, some slightly more nuanced areas to this.
Yeah. And there are some friendly pirates out there. Friendly pirates trying to do a good deed, you know? Take from the rich, give to the poor.
Well, in some ways, it can be a bit of a good deed, because what is going to come into this a lot is the idea of video game preservation. And I think pirates, as you might call them, often do a very good job of preserving video games that would otherwise be perhaps unavailable nowadays. Yeah. And that's something that I feel very passionate about.
Okay. Well, I'm super stoked for this. I've been looking forward to this episode for a while. So I'm keen to get stuck in. But just before we do, tell me what, in a sentence or two, what's DRM? Dan's remedial medicines? What's that?
Rectal medicines. No, you're right to pick up on that, because DRM, I'm going to be using that term a lot, but it's not necessarily in everyone's vocabulary. So DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. And basically that's just any mechanism that's in place to try to combat piracy. So it might be a CD key, it might be requiring you to be always online to play the game or to install the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be more intrusive than that. It could be like the game requires you to install some very intrusive like software on your PC that, in the case of online games, makes sure that you're not cheating. I don't know if that's quite the same as DRM, but it's at least related.
Yeah. Okay, well, a few things you said that I've already got like some points to make and frustrations I've had. So let's get stuck in.
Okay, question 1. You bought a copy of a game, but it's defective. Would you then go and pirate the game?
I mean, you know, my initially, my grown-up response to that would be, I would take it back to the shop or contact the support team, you know, hey, there's something wrong with this, sort me out.
Let's say for whatever reason that's not an option.
Okay.
And I have a real-world example of this.
Okay.
It's not related to a game, but I, long time ago, bought the box set of Merlin, the TV show Merlin.
Yeah.
Which is flipping great.
You love a bit of Merlin.
I love it. But I didn't actually watch this box set for many, many years. It just sat on a shelf. And when I finally did get around to watching it, I realized that in the last season, one of the discs is missing. And in fact, another disc is in there twice. So some of the episodes were essentially unwatchable, despite the fact that I had bought and paid for this product. And because it was so many years ago that I'd bought it, I had no way of returning it.
Right. Okay, you make a compelling, situation there. So you paid for it.
Yeah.
But you haven't got it.
Yeah.
And so are you justified to just, to go get it by some other means?
Yeah. I can
certainly feel sympathetic to feeling that way. And actually, you've reminded me of a similar but different situation. I actually did, this one is a game. This was, it was actually Medal of Honor World at War, I think it was.
Yeah.
And my wife and I would, play. I got it mostly because it had a cool. I think you could co-op the campaign, and my wife and I would enjoy doing sort of shooters co-op. And also it had what was becoming quite a big thing at the time. They're like one of their like zombie modes where it's kind of like waves of zombies and you've got to like fight them off, and then it gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got it for that reason, and I got it secondhand. Okay. Now, and this is kind of related to your story. I then didn't like check it for some time.
Yeah.
Right. And I played through the first level eventually. I was like, picked it up and was like, oh yeah, finally, I'll play this. It's going to be cool. Played through the first level. And then you get to like the loading screen of the second level and it just stalls, breaks, doesn't work. And like, I tried it a few times and it's like, didn't work each time. And I was like, okay, so this isn't a bug. There's something wrong. And I looked at the disc and it had this like scratch on it. Particularly it had like a circular scratch.
Oh.
And apparently that is the worst kind on a CD. So like a straight scratch, like a lot of the time machines will cope, like either it won't make any difference, or like there's enough kind of error correction in the hardware that it's just like, oh, we can guess what that's supposed to be, carry on. But a circular scratch, because the way a disc is read, it's like, a circle is basically the whole kind of content of the whole bit of content that you're trying to read. So if you like do a circular scratch, you're like killing like the whole bit of like a piece of data you're trying to read. So anyway, I was like, and this was a bit naughty of me, but I was like, right, it's too late. I can't return it. It's too late.
Like, you didn't resell it.
I tried to resell it back to them.
Really?
But do you know what the weird thing is? I felt justified in doing so because I was like, you sold me this and it's broken, but I can't return it to you. I might have even tried to return it. I can't remember. Anyway, it was clear that I couldn't return it to them. So I tried to sell it to them. And then they were like, oh, we wouldn't take this because look at this scratch. And I was thinking, yeah, look at that scratch that you sold me.
Oh,
I was like,
my goodness.
So like clearly someone had just waved it through, not really looked closely. But then the next guy, looked at it and was like, oh no, we definitely wouldn't take that. So I guess, yeah, I have some sympathy for if you've bought something and it is, defective. I feel like what you've bought, this isn't technically what you've bought in law, but I feel like what you've bought is the right to play that game somehow. And if it doesn't work out the way that you bought it, if you get it by some other means, that feels legit or justifiable.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like that one's fairly non-controversial. Yeah. I felt completely justified in my case to go away and download those episodes that I was missing.
Yeah. Because what's the point, I guess, and I guess we'll get to this. Maybe you've got a question lined up for this, but like kind of what is the point of, DRM or like piracy protection stuff? I guess it's to protect from theft, or like, it's to protect the sales of the of the product that someone's put their time and effort into.
Yeah.
And in this case, you've bought the product. So it's not like you haven't stopped the product being bought. You've paid for it.
Yeah. They've already got my money.
And now, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, fine.
Okay. Easy one.
Easy.
Question 2 then.
Okay, yeah.
You own a copy of a game, but you've lost the CD key.
Oh.
And this happened to me just the other day. You know how last time we were talking about Diablo 2?
Yeah.
And after that episode, I went away and reinstalled the game because I was like, I want to play Diablo 2 again.
Yeah, you did.
And I have the CDs. I have a USB CD-ROM drive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I can still load up the discs. But what I don't have is the CD keys. Somehow they're lost. They're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do?
Honestly, this is almost easier for me than the first question. Just like straight up, that's fine. Find a CD key and crack on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notice the slight pun there.
Crack on.
Crack on. Our less technical friends may not get that. A crack, you'd get like a no CD crack, wouldn't you?
Or sometimes you'd download a keygen. And it'd be some like sketchy little program that generates a CD key for you. But has some amazing music. Did you ever come across these?
What? No.
These keygen programs would often come with like music that would just play when you have it open.
Oh.
And it was always like really cool kind of chiptune-y music.
Yeah. Oh wow. No, I never came across that. That's so
cool. So anyway.
No, so I think it's really easy to lose a CD key. I mean, obviously your story paints that picture. A lot of the time, you know, it's on like the back of the paper manual that came with the disc or something.
Yeah.
So if you know, and that comes out of the case, maybe, you know, you take it out and you read it, maybe you hand it to your friend, you know, to have a look and read and whatever. And it's so easy to lose that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So again, like, hey, you bought the copy, so you can't find the CD key anymore. Whatever. Go find another one, crack on.
And there is a slight restriction here in that when you try and play online on battle.net.
This is Blizzard specifically now.
On Blizzard servers, like they verify your CD key. So if like multiple people are trying to play with the same CD key, then that CD key will get banned and you won't be able to play online. So there is like a slight snag to just using a CD key that I found online, but I'm not going to be playing on battle.net anyway. So in my case, it doesn't matter. I'm just playing single player.
Yeah.
Okay. We're still on the same page.
Yeah. Gentle introduction. Fine.
Question 3 then. You own a copy of a game, but it's in the attic somewhere and you can't be bothered to find it. Do you download that game?
Wow. That's so great.
You already own it.
I do. Yeah, I already own it. It's right up. It's just up there. It's just up in the loft.
Yeah.
But you know, it's in a box somewhere. Maybe it's a bit hard to get.
Yeah, you need to get a ladder. It's all dusty. You got bats in the attic.
Yeah, classic.
You might get rabies. Collection.
So, hey, I could just download a copy.
Just download it.
Just download it and play it. I mean, how do you feel?
I feel good about it. I feel completely justified in downloading that.
I feel pretty all right as well.
Yeah. I own the game, honestly, so what's the harm?
Kind of by the same token, yeah. It's like, I own the game, so by whichever means I want to play it, fine.
It's not like I'm going to go and buy the game again, so no one's losing out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
fine.
Okay. You own a game. Question 4.
Yeah.
You own a game, but you no longer own the console required to run it. However, the game runs well on an emulator. Do you download the ROM and emulate the game?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I've got a good example. Well, no, I'm not sure if I've got a good example of this. I mean, we used to play quite a lot of Super Nintendo games on an emulator.
Yeah.
Now, in your case, your family owned quite a few of those games. Maybe all of them. Who knows? Maybe. I didn't own any of those games on the console or otherwise. Just like, and cracked on anyway. Yeah. I mean, the more we go down this road, the more it seems I'm quite comfortable with the idea of, okay. So again, I think, I'd be all right with that. Yeah. Wait, so I own the game.
Yeah, you own the game.
But oh no, I don't have a PlayStation 1 anymore, or it broke or whatever. But why shouldn't I be able to play that on my PC?
Yeah,
with an emulator. Yeah.
And arguably, going back to what you said about the Super Nintendo, because you were just round the corner, we could have lent you the Super Nintendo.
Absolutely.
It's not like we were both playing those games at the same time.
No, right. And also, right, lending games. How much harder has that become? Like, it's almost not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Lending games. It used to be such a thing. Like, you buy some PlayStation games, your friend's got some PlayStation games, maybe you play through your one and then you're like, oh, do you want to borrow my copy of this? Like, give it a go. And, maybe swap whatever. And like PlayStation cases, like, PlayStation 2, game cases would even have slots where you could like put your memory cards in. They were like, you could like, click them in there as like an easy way of taking it to your mate's house. So it's like the whole thing was like about, like sharing and like, and I think, it was on the last episode, we were saying how, in your household, you could just have one copy of a game, like a PC game. And, you'd need to like share the CD around to get everyone going. But basically you could all play the game with one copy. Right. And it's just like it's so much harder now. In some ways, in some instances, it's not possible at all. And this whole kind of thing of, tying games to a certain account only one person can have access to that account and all this stuff. And it's just like, it just feels so locked down. It's such like a lot of those sort of features are kind of done in the name of, security and, all this stuff. And it's like, sure, but what are we losing here?
Yeah, I agree. I like the idea of being able to lend games, share games with friends. I think there's a big difference between putting something online for hundreds of people to download illegally versus like giving it to your mate who, is just around the corner.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about that. I basically have no objections with sharing games with your friends. And I've always said, if anyone wants to, if anyone's bought my game and wants to share it with their friends so they can play multiplayer, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sadly, companies don't often see it that way. And as you say, it's often one per account now.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 5 then. Similar. Mm-hmm. You own the game, but no longer own the console. However, the game is available to purchase as a digital download for a newer console.
Oh.
So a common example of this is like Nintendo re-releases a lot of their games. Like you can play a lot of Super Nintendo games on a Switch, but you have to pay extra, or you have to pay for a Nintendo Switch online subscription.
Yeah. Right. See, in my mind, this is kind of linked a bit to backwards compatibility. Yeah. Which, apparently, I remember kind of hearing someone talk about this, like someone from Sony talking about this, that it's like the most requested feature, or it certainly used to be like the most requested feature on a new PlayStation console would be backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And similarly, it was one of the least used features.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see, like the actual data behind that, but he was confident that like that's how it rolls. Whether that's a good reason to not do it, it's a good conversation. But supposedly, everyone would want it, but then basically people would play the new games and not really make that much use of the backwards compatibility. But again, like I feel if I own the game, I feel like I kind of almost have a right to be able to play it somehow.
Yeah, I feel the same.
So like whether that's on a new console or I'm not this is quite strong terms. I'm not sure if I mean this, but I almost object morally to like paying again for the exact same product.
Yeah.
You know? So if I bought that game on, you know, PS3, let's say, and it's available to buy and play, you know, and play on PS5, and as you say, like maybe you don't have PS3 anymore, or whatever, you know, you've got no way of doing that. Like, I should just be able to play it on the PS5. Like, I shouldn't have to buy it all over again just so I can play it on the PS5.
Yeah, ideally.
Now, I don't really want to play devil's advocate and fight the other side, but like, I guess there is a reality that, you know, there are people out there that make it playable on a new platform, a new console. Like there's work that goes into that, right? You know, it's not just plug and play, probably. And maybe, you know, maybe that work deserves to be paid for.
But that makes it more attractive for players who haven't played it before or no longer in the game. They now have a way to play it.
Yeah, and maybe that is almost like is that almost the test? Like, if a game is to be released on a new platform, it needs to be able to stand on its own 2 feet of players that maybe haven't played it before, or like it's becoming available to them where it wasn't available before.
It's interesting what you say about the backwards compatibility, because you said that research came from Sony.
Yeah, I think it was Sony that said that.
Because the 2 instances in my mind of backwards compatibility, maybe there are others, but the 2 I'm aware of are the PS2 could play PS1 games, which I'm confident that many people used, and Sony wouldn't have any data about that because it wasn't online.
Yeah, fair.
And the other one is a PS3 could play PS1 games, but to be honest,
really,
who's going to be playing PS1 games on a PS3? I think there's just less of a use case there.
Yeah. So
I can understand if that's the data they went by, why they would say it's an underused feature.
That's interesting. Because, I mean, I sold my PS1 or got rid of, you know, whatever, like, because my PS2 could do it all.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I did, and half the games I have for my legacy PlayStation games are PS1 games.
Yeah,
and I would happily play those on there as well. Absolutely.
And the PS2 is one of the best-selling consoles of all time. Maybe the best-selling console. Of all time.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to be a factor, because it was just a straight upgrade over the PS1, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Man, those are like golden days. Anyway, yes. So yeah, I think I feel okay about, finding a way to play my game that I can't play on an old console I don't have anymore, and feel like I shouldn't have to pay for it again.
Okay. We better pick up the pace because we've got a lot of questions to get through.
Oh man, okay, let's go.
Question 6. Your family owned a game when you were growing up, but now your brother has it and he lives far away.
Oh man.
I guess your sister has it and she lives far away.
Yeah. I mean, for real, and in the interest of time, again, I think I'll probably just play it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
These are all quite similar, I think. I think we've covered the gist of it. Question 7. A game is considered abandonware. It's no longer sold, and the company that made it no longer exists.
Yeah. Now, this is a grey area, but not that grey.
Yeah.
I've actually done this very recently. I can't remember if I've mentioned it on the pod, but I've certainly mentioned it to you.
You were saying there was this abandonware called Call of Duty, the new one, right?
Yeah,
can't find it anywhere. I just had to
just had to download it. Yeah, So The Neverhood.
Oh, yeah.
You can't find the Neverhood for love nor money. I mean, you can buy it. This is like an old claymation, like point and click adventure game. And you can buy like a hard copy of it on eBay for like 70 quid or something.
Really?
Like, it's crazy. Yeah. But it's also on like myabandonware.com or whatever it is, where they list exactly this sort of game. Like the company's, gone, or, things have changed hands so many times that no one has any interest or real kind of notable claim on the ownership of whatever game it is.
Yeah.
And so you can just download them there. And it's a pretty I stumble across that site quite a bit. So it must be relatively well known.
Yeah.
And in there are like guides on how to get it working on new systems and all that stuff. So after years of wanting to kind of revisit this game, I finally did do it. I downloaded a copy there and followed the instructions, and hey presto, I'm playing the Neverhood and I'm reliving my childhood, and it's great. So yeah, I feel pretty all right about that.
Yeah, and I feel like sites like My Abandonware are doing the Lord's work when it comes to video game preservation.
Yeah.
Because these are games that could otherwise just be lost forever.
Yeah, and like to the preservation thing, there are some there that will just they're going to be low. There's going to be a low amount of interest. It's got to be there's not like a great market force there to kind of make sure that some company out there is kind of maintaining it, making sure it's usable on current systems, maybe even, remastering it. Maybe I imagine we might get onto remasters in a minute. So yeah, I absolutely. Game preservation, love that sort of resource exists.
The only sort of legally grey aspect of this, I think, is... I said as part of the question, a game is considered abandonware, but there's no kind of legal status for that. It's not like at some point in time someone just declares, okay, this is now abandonware. It's just it's just left for the fans to just kind of collectively decide, okay, can't find this game anywhere. No one seems to own it. I guess it's abandonware then.
Yeah.
And I almost wish there was like a more definitive way to categorize that,
Slight aside, is Rival Realms abandonware?
Well, this is the thing. So Rival Realms, an old favorite of ours that I am personally remaking, rewriting the engine so that it can run on modern hardware. And I consider that abandonware. But there's nothing to stop someone sometime in the future from deciding, actually, we own the rights to that, and we're going to shut this down.
Yeah. But that is not to say that you have not gone to pretty reasonable lengths to find out who owns it and who has, the rights and whatever. Dan has gone around contacting old employees and all this stuff.
I've tried very hard. I've gone through the credits and looked up the names on LinkedIn and stuff like that. I've reached out to lots of people, lots of companies. As far as I can tell, the game is just completely abandoned. No one even knows it exists.
Yeah.
Okay, question 8. A game you want to play is not available in your country. It's pretty similar to the last one in the sense that you can't buy the game. You personally can't buy it.
Hey, there's no legitimate way of me buying the game.
There's no legitimate way to buy it.
Maybe I'd like to buy the game, but I can't. So, yeah, I think fair play.
Okay. Question 9. A game is available legally, but the version being sold has been modified from the original. Perhaps it's been remastered or censored, and everyone says that the original version is better.
Oh.
Do you download the original?
Oh, man. If an actual remake is available, then I don't know. I always feel like that legitimizes the getting the original. Because there's a bit, in theory, there's a bigger, better thing out there now, and that's available for money. And maybe is in this scenario, is the original not available anymore?
the original's not available anymore.
Right. So that feels like fair game.
Yeah, I think I feel similarly because the remaster that's being sold, it's effectively a different game. Or it's not the one you want to play.
Yeah.
So why would you buy a worse version when you can download the better version for free, the one you actually want to play?
Yeah. I don't want to be forced to play the worst version.
Exactly.
And I've actually done that. Like with Heroes 3, I bought the official HD like remastered version. But it was missing a whole load of like the changes and updates that came in the expansions and stuff. So it was like legitimately like missing content and features that the original with the expansions had. And like realistically, the community has like an an ongoing kind of mod that has all that stuff and more. So I was like, well, I'm just going to keep playing that then.
Yeah. If I could generalize a bit from everything we've discussed so far,
yeah,
I think there are sort of several aspects that go into each decision. There's firstly, what right do I have to play this game? So perhaps in the case where you have previously bought the game, you might feel like you have a right to play it.
Yeah.
Second aspect is, what right does the current owner or seller have to my money?
Yeah.
And the third is like, can this game actually be obtained legally? Can I actually pay for this game?
Yeah.
I think those are kind of everything we've touched on so far. So in the case that we just visited, like the version that's being sold is not the one you want. So the one you want is actually not available. And that's why I kind of feel like it's okay to download it.
Yeah, yeah. I think so far we've made a really good case for just go ahead and download whatever you want, people. Crack on.
This next one's a bit more grey.
Okay.
You owned a copy of a game growing up, but you sold it. Now you want to play it again.
That feels that feels less okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you sold it, you've relinquished
ownership,
and you've been given money for the pleasure of relinquishing your ownership. So that kind of seems, you need to repurchase your right to play the game in whatever fashion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. Question 11. I think this might even be less grey than the last one. You own a copy of a game, but it doesn't run anymore. There's a cracked version on the internet that works just fine. Do you download it?
I mean, absolutely. In fact, help me out here. What's wrong with that? Or like, what's questionable about that? I suppose is a cracked version essentially, that means anyone can download it without like having owned it before. You don't need a CD key, just anyone can play that.
Yeah, that's right. So you could argue that the availability of that version online is bad.
Yeah.
But if you own it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, man.
But this is really a lead up into question 12.
Okay.
You own a copy of a game, but it doesn't run anymore. There is a working version on GOG which they spent time and effort to fix.
Oh. So this is Good Old Games, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
Who kind of almost specialize in older games, like making them available to purchase and making them run on new systems, blah, blah, blah. I think this is almost similar to the remaster thing, because I think, and kind of back to Dawn of War, I think realistically I would buy the definitive edition.
Yeah.
Although it still leaves a slightly bad taste in my mouth, because it's like the whole thing of like buying the same game again. Like, why should I buy it twice? And it does feel like it's a recurring theme now, because like so many games get remade, remastered, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like how many games of the past am I going to pay for a second time?
Yeah.
You know?
But you
that
obviously
feel good.
You must feel like you're getting some benefit, otherwise you wouldn't buy it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a bit choosy about which ones I will do it for. But yeah, you're right. I do value it. I value being able to play those games. And if they're not playable right now. Yeah, so I think in the case, sorry, it's not playable right now, and there's not a cracked version on. Oh no, there is a cracked version online that you can get for free, but there is also a one you can pay for where some people have done the work to make it playable.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, basically. So this kind of holds two things in tension. On the one hand, you feel like you have a right to play the game because you own it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, arguably the seller, GOG, has a right to some money because they've invested money in making the game playable again.
Mm.
And this is, for me, this was a real example that actually happened, because when I was trying to replay Anno 1503 recently,
yeah,
again, I have the CDs. I actually have the CD key, and I have my USB CD-ROM drive. I installed the game.
Oh, man.
And it wouldn't run. And frustratingly, the reason it doesn't work anymore is actually directly because of the DRM that they put in that game to prevent people from copying it.
Okay.
It's a DRM called Secure ROM, and it's notorious because, I don't know, it used some mechanism to prevent people from copying the game, which Windows no longer likes. So Windows refuses to run the software because it detects this DRM.
Whoa.
So even though I legitimately own the game to this day, I can't play it because of the DRM no longer being supported by Windows. So I felt really cheesed off. And I feel like very strongly like I have a right to play this game.
Yeah.
But so in the end, I did just like, let's say I sourced it. I sourced the GOG version without necessarily purchasing the GOG version because I didn't want to buy the game again. But I also, I really respect GOG and the work that they do for video game preservation.
Yeah.
And I also want to support them, but I just didn't feel like I should have to buy the game again.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, this may not even be a technical possibility, but let's say it was. If there was like an option, if there was like a buy the game bundled with everything you need to make it work option, and then there was like just the technical bits you need to like download to fix your hard copy that you own from the past and make that work, would you have paid for that? Like the make my original copy work fix.
Like, here's a fix. It's going to cost you £1 and it will make the game work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll pay for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would as well. I think that is like, you've done me a service.
Yeah.
And you've made this game that I own from the past that doesn't work. You've made it work.
Yeah.
I'd pay for that. I just don't want to pay for the whole game.
Exactly. Okay.
At what price point would you not do that? I suppose it's all relative to the like value of the game, but
yeah. I mean, it's an old game. I was playing it mostly for nostalgia and kind of as a curiosity. Yeah. I'm not going to pay more than a couple of quid.
Okay.
Let me check how much it is on GOG right now. The full game.
Yeah. I think if I really wanted to play it, I might spend $5 on that.
It's £4.29 on GOG.
What, the whole thing?
The full game. So maybe I should just put my money where my mouth is and buy the game on GOG to show my support for them.
Yeah.
But it's too late now. And I only played it for a few hours anyway.
Yeah.
I might. Do you know what? I might actually go away and buy it on GOG.
Oh, you tell us on the next episode. That was a good one. Okay. Is it going to get even spicier than that?
There are some slightly more spicy ones. Question 13. An indie developer lost the rights to their own game through some legal bullying from a massive corporation.
Oh.
This developer now actively encourages players to pirate the game, which is now owned and sold by said corporation.
Oh my gosh. Is this based on a real thing as well?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
I don't know how this could happen, if this could even happen, but let's just assume it can.
Let's roll with it. Yeah. I mean, I'll be on the side of the little guy, I think. Yeah. Big corpo doesn't need my sales.
Yeah. Especially when it feels like they've obtained the game unjustly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, stick it to the man.
On the same page. Question 14. A game is known to install some very invasive DRM software on your computer, but the pirated version doesn't have this DRM.
Okay, this might split us in two. I don't think it'll bother me. Or I think I just wouldn't even notice or care.
Let's say this DRM is like basically spyware.
Oh, okay.
Or it slows down your entire PC. Let's just say it's something extreme like that.
Yeah. Okay, then I might think twice. And actually, I don't know how real this is or like just how concerned I should be, but I was advised basically not to play. There's a Half-Life. What's the Half-Life remake called? There's like a fan project that ended up being like a legit game. Black Mesa. I was basically recommended not to play that game because there's some process they have running in the background, or there's maybe it's in their privacy policy or something that basically says, hey, we can like monitor your, a whole load of stuff about your PC whilst you're playing it and stuff. And
yeah.
I'm not sure how real it is, but some people on the threads of that game in Steam are like, basically claim it's, very invasive and all this stuff. So by the strength of that, I basically haven't really played it much. After like an initial play of, I don't know, half an hour, where I thought was really good. I was like really impressed and I was excited to play more. So I guess if I was concerned enough, I would find a way around it, perhaps.
It sounds like you've already bought it anyway, so...
yeah, you're right.
It seems like you're justified in finding like a version that doesn't include that.
Yeah.
It does bother me when the illegal method to play a game or watch a film or whatever it might be actually gives you a better experience than the legal way.
Oh.
And it's not uncommon.
Do you know what? We might have touched on this in a previous pod. But to Steam, like, I'm not sure if he's like the CEO of Steam, but like he's the kind of one of the big faces of Steam, Gabe Newell, right?
Yeah.
His approach to piracy on games, he pretty much said, I'm sure he said at one point that like, basically it's not, how did he put it?
He said it's a service problem.
It's a service problem. Basically, if you make it easy enough and the like experience just really good, then people won't choose piracy just because it's just so much easier and convenient and better to buy it through Steam. And whilst it's probably not like 100%, I think he's got a point. If it's just easy.
Yeah. And now, well, clearly they've achieved enormous success. So he was onto something.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that did sort of reduce, had a real impact on piracy rates and stuff, just like making the service good. And like, things like automatically including like patches and all that sort of stuff, you don't have to go do that yourself. It's just all part of the system.
Yeah, I think most people do genuinely want to support the developers.
Yeah.
It's just when there's a lot of friction to buying and playing a game the legal way, sometimes it's literally preferable to pirate it.
I tell you what really bugs me though, and maybe this is coming out, I don't want to like ruin one of your questions, but you touched on this earlier about like having to be online to play your game. I've come up against this a couple of times in recent history, and it's really bugged me.
Yeah. Why should you have to be online? Especially if it's a single-player game.
Literally. In fact, Dredge was one of the examples. Yeah. And was it even God of Thunder or another game I played recently? Just like maybe it was Return of the Obra Dinn. Single-player games. I'm not playing multiplayer. I'm not like, there is no need for me to be online. Like, it's locally installed on my PC. Why should I need to play, or why should I need to be online? But like, internet's having an issue and suddenly I can't play any game that's like on my Steam library, which is now, 90% of the games I own. That's crazy. That feels wrong. And so, like, just because you're hitting a bad patch with the internet one evening.
I thought Steam was pretty good about that. I thought you could play offline, like go into offline mode.
Right. So, yes, you can. But I tell you what, they don't want you to.
No, they don't.
They really don't. Because you know what it says, like before you like hit go on playing offline.
Does it warn you about cloud saves?
Yes. It's like, oh, by the way, like your saves aren't necessarily synced with the cloud right now. So if you play, sure you can play, but your saves might get like lost or corrupted, or like, there might be a clash with your saves. And it all goes wrong when you're back online, which is basically the same. Like if you've got any time invested in the game, it's basically the same as saying, don't play the game because you'll wreck your progress.
I think that is a legitimate warning though, because let's say you're offline.
Yeah.
And you're not able to download the cloud save because for whatever reason, it's more up to date in the cloud. Maybe you played it on a different PC.
Okay.
So there's a more up to date save in the cloud, which you don't have locally. If you then play offline, your local save, which is further behind, will be modified and become more recent in the eyes of Steam, and will then overwrite whatever one is in the cloud.
Okay. That is a pretty reasonable argument. However, I almost never do that ever. I only play locally on my own PC.
You're just playing on the one machine, so you can probably just ignore it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it sometime.
It's a difficult problem, like cloud saves. It's a difficult problem to solve. But I think you can safely ignore that.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right, then.
We got 3 more questions. Question 15. A company with famously objectionable business practices requires you to pay for a subscription service to play their game.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. So what, do I own the game and now suddenly I need to subscribe? Or
that's a good question. Let's say,
because like if I already own the game and suddenly that changes, that's like a hard
thing. Now let's say the game
I'll just rebel.
You've never bought the game outright.
Okay.
Let's say the game is only available on a subscription service.
Okay. Okay, I mean, boring answer. I just never would pay for a subscription game. I just don't. Like WoW, for example, World of Warcraft, that has never held any appeal because I'm just like, well, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, the transaction is I pay once for the game and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Simple. Like, that's it. And like, the amount people spend on like World of Warcraft, for example, I mean, it's maybe a bit, I mean, people do still play it actually. Like, I think it's still quite popular. But certainly back in the day, like subscription would be what? Like, might be £10-15 a month or something.
Yeah.
It's like, well, once you play for 2 months, like, that's a brand new AAA game that you could have bought. That's the and you're paying that every month. You're doing this, and it's like,
yeah.
I just immediately I was just like, no way, absolutely not. I didn't even pay for the members like areas in RuneScape.
Really?
Even though I was a bit jealous of people that did. Yeah. I was like, oh, I do want to.
Because that was quite cheap. It was quite reasonable at the time.
Yeah.
I have a slightly real-world example of this. It's not a game,
please.
but it's software, and it's Adobe, who I really
hate those guys.
Really hate. Like, more than maybe any other company, I hate Adobe.
Whoa!
Because their business practices are so scummy. The way they've moved everything to a subscription model.
Yeah.
There's no way to see that as benefiting the consumers. It's only benefiting the company. And I actually bought Photoshop CS6 outright when I was a student. I bought it for like 180 quid or something like that, which as a student was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I still use that software today. If I'd been paying a subscription model all this time, it would have cost me a fortune. Like thousands and thousands of pounds by now. And what was really like scummy was recently I tried to reinstall Photoshop on my new PC.
Yeah.
And every time you install it, you have to activate it.
Okay.
And I tried to activate it and it said, oh, you've reached the maximum number of devices.
Ooh.
You can't activate your product. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'll just go online and deactivate it on an older device.
Sure.
Presumably some computer I no longer have access to.
Yeah.
And you can't. They've taken away that ability.
Right. So you just rack up activations on defunct devices until you're done.
Yeah. So if your hard drive fails, well, tough luck. That's you're never getting that product like usage back.
Wow.
So I phoned up support and I just basically had a moan at them, and they just confirmed like, sorry, there's nothing we can do, but maybe to say sorry, we'll give you a discount on the subscription service for a few months. Yeah. And I was fuming.
Get you hooked.
I was absolutely fuming. Man. I was like, absolutely not. I'm never, ever subscribing to that. And I just pirated the product. I just downloaded a crack which let me use it because I own the damn software.
Yeah, too right. Unfortunately, no one from Adobe is listening to this podcast. I still remember having a dodgy copy of Photoshop from yesterdecade. And like, you know, like, I think there's like, you know, Joe Blogs is like a standard, like, you know, just any odd name.
Yeah.
And I think, but at the time, I think I didn't quite like know that, and like, I like mistranslated it, or like someone's like, I think I asked someone like, what should I put as the name for the, to register the thing? And I think someone said Joe Blogs, and then I like forgot it. I ended up just calling it Bog Bog.
Bog Bog. This product is licensed to Bog Bog.
Yeah, and for years. Oh man, I'm with you on the whole subscription thing. Just like,
oh, I hate it.
I mean, the flip side, I suppose, is you're buying the latest version every year or every couple of years.
But I'm not.
But you're not. You don't have to. You just use it. And actually, the same is true. I use Cubase, which is a music software, and you know they've got a whole bunch of versions going back, years that you can still use.
Yeah.
You know, they'll obviously advertise the latest version and the latest features, blah blah blah, but you can still use the old one.
Yeah. And I guess some people will make the argument that the subscription model is beneficial if you can't afford to just buy the product outright. Or maybe you're a casual user and you just want to use it for a month.
Sure.
But I think that's a very short-sighted way to look at the problem. Because you're not just going to want to use it for a month. Like, you might want to use it like once today, and then once a few months from now, and then once a few months from then. And what, are you going to like take out a new subscription every time? Just to use it like occasionally. And in the long run, you will pay more with a subscription model.
Yeah. Cool. Welcome to Knee Deep in the Pod, where we analyse the economics of software and the gaming world.
Doom and gloom. Question 16.
Whoa.
We've got 2 fun questions, okay, to end with.
Okay. The rest have been rubbish.
On your deathbed, your son expresses that he would like to inherit your Steam library, even though it's against Valve's terms of service. Do you hand over your password?
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Absolutely. No question. I think it's abhorrent.
Abhorrent.
Honestly. I think it's abhorrent that my purchase of this game not only is that it is like locked down to just my user and like not easily shareable, but that my user just expires. That it's just like, well, when I'm dead, that's the end. Absolutely not. You wouldn't do the same with a CD or a book or a piece of furniture. Like that, it goes on, and so should the games I've bought. Right?
I agree, but the snag is you're technically buying a license to play the games or something.
Yeah.
Some waffle like that.
You don't technically own the flipping game.
Yeah.
This riles me.
Yeah, I know.
If you've stuck around till now, like, here we go. Right. Flipping it. If I buy a game, I should own the game. Okay, it's in the terms and conditions, it's in the license agreement, but who reads it? Who cares? You've just made the easiest and best way for anyone to buy a game, basically hands down.
Yeah,
that's why
it's
you
the
are
de facto
basically a
way.
monopoly, an almost monopoly power in this world. And so people are just kind of signing up willy-nilly, almost powerless. I mean, GOG to the rescue, I suppose, and you can tell us extol the benefits of GOG for us in a minute, but essentially the majority of games are being bought in this way, which means the majority of games that people are buying for themselves, they don't own.
Yeah.
So yes, I will absolutely pass on my password, and do anything I can to make, I'll just hide my death, not even make it impossible for Valve to know that I've died.
There's a famous phrase that people like to say on the internet, which is, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing.
Oh.
I'm not sure legally that holds any water, but I do like the notion.
That's great.
And I do feel similarly like you. I feel strongly that when I die, I should be able to pass on my Steam library. Whether my potential children will actually care at all about those games is besides the point. I feel like I've paid for those. I should have a right to pass them on.
Absolutely. I suppose one thing that might soften your opinion on this is, hey, in 50 years or however long it is till we die, probably a great deal of the games that we have in our libraries will become defunct or whatever. Video game preservation is becoming more of a thing, but even so, are all these titles going to be playable in 50 years?
Or is anyone even going to care if they are?
Maybe no one cares because we've all moved on with our lives. Don't know.
And I like what you said about, I will pass on my library and just not tell Valve. Or obviously you won't tell them because you're dead, but you'll hide your death from them. But I do wonder if there'll come a time when Valve just start to twig, hang on, a lot of these accounts are 150 years old. Maybe they start to take action.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned about GOG. And that's one thing I do really like about GOG is all the games on there are DRM free. So you can download those games and they will be playable 100 years from now.
Yeah. I love that. Provided you have hardware that can run it.
Yes. To be honest, there are very few games that I've played in my life that I can't still run.
Yeah.
It's not always easy, but there's normally a way to get them working.
I mean, you are very resourceful. But we've mentioned also on the pod that, I still keep a PS2 lying around.
Yeah.
Specifically so I can run, PS1 and PS2 games that I've kept. That are my faves.
Absolutely. Okay. It's been a long one. We've got one question to go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I don't think I could ever be ready.
I think I already know your answer to this. It's the year 2050. Against all odds, Valve has declared bankruptcy and Steam has been permanently shut down. However, all of the games you previously bought and paid for can be freely downloaded through an illegal site that has been set up for this very eventuality. Do you download them?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think most people would.
Wow. Yeah.
You're not going to buy them again.
No, of course I'm not. Why would I buy them again?
Why would you buy them again?
So we've come to the end of our
ethics seminar.
Yeah, and I don't think there's been one question where I've said, "Oh no."
Actually, the one where you sold the game, you said you wouldn't.
Okay,
you wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, one scenario of 17 or 18 questions. I've said, "Oh yeah, better take a moral stand."
Let us know in the comments. We keep inviting comments. I don't think we've had a single comment.
But now we get that one particular viewer, listener, does comment on YouTube.
Okay.
So we do see those comments, but on no other platform have we noticed any comments at all. No.
Well, let us know. What was your score? How many of those questions would you pirate? You can't pirate the questions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. What's your line in the sand?
Yes.
Nice.
I hope you enjoyed this slightly unconventional podcast.
And to all those pirates out there,
yeah.